It's March 24th, 2022, and it's a day before the $5,300 main event at Prime Social. I'm recording this voiceover over 3 weeks into the future, so I'm not sure if I'll remember exactly how I felt in each spot, but this was a good session that I got to catch on camera. So let's begin. The first spot we get into is a straddle pot, and we have King 8 of spades on the cutoff. It folds to me and I open it up to $20. Button calls, small blind calls, the straddler folds. We get a flop of 10-9-6 with 2 hearts. Small blind checks and I continue with a $30 bet. 30. We're hoping to just take it down here. However, we get the opposite of that and we get calls from both the button and the small blind. Looks like they're going nowhere. Turn comes the 3 of spades, and when small blind checks again, I fire for $100.
100.
Because I picked up some good equity with the backdoor flush. Button thinks for a bit and makes the call. Small blind folds and it's heads up, and when the river comes, the 7 of spades, boom, we bink the backdoor flush. We pretty much always have the best hand here. Now it's time to figure out how much we can get paid for. I choose a sizing of $150 to get any 10x type of holdings to call.
150.
And button makes the call. Let's go. Maybe I could have gotten more, but we're still happy with the outcome. The next spot we record is when we pick up Queen 8 of spades in the small blind. We have about 1,300 behind, and we have an under the gun open raise of $17. Button calls, and we make the call as well. It's 3 ways, and we get a flop of King 7 deuce with 2 spades. We check, and under the gun player now c-bets for $30. Button calls, and I go ahead and make the call as well. I can raise here sometimes, but if we get re-raised, I'm not sure if I'm going to go broke with a queen high flush. So I like to just call here. The turn comes to 10 of hearts. I check again. Under gun now fires for $40. Button calls, and I say, screw it. I'm priced in. Let's gamble. I make the call. Please get there, poker gods. If there's a time for some grace, please let it be now. We need a spade. And when the river comes, the jack of diamonds, we sigh and click check. Under gun now fires once again for $30. Button now raises to 80, and we just have to fold. Under the gun makes the quick call, and we're shown that they had King Queen versus King Jack. Wow, we would have been paid big time if that river was a jack of spades. Oh well, next hand. After a lot of folding and getting a bit bored, we pick up 7-9 offsuit from the hijack. I would not recommend this play to anyone, but we felt like gambling, and when under the gun and middle position both limp in for $3, we go ahead and make it $30 with our beautiful 7-9 offsuit. It folds around to the 2 limpers, and they both make the call. It's a 3-way flop, and it comes ace 7 deuce with 2 spades. We have some of that. Now under gun just donk leads for $40, and I'm just like, what? Middle position player folds, and I decide to call thinking he's on some type of draw. The turn is a brick, something like the 3 of hearts, and now he checks. And when I see him check, I immediately feel reassured that he's on some type of draw. So let's charge him. We fire $50, and he snap folds. Let's go. By the way, guys, don't 3-bet 7-9 offsuit here. Never. No more. So a few moments later, we pick up ace-jack offsuit in the hijack. We see Mr. Chip Leader, who's got like $2,200 behind, limp in from under the gun and under the gun +1, and both middle position limp in as well. It's on me, and I make the price of poker go up. I raise it to $20, and it folds back to Mr. Chip Leader, who now puts in the 3-bet to $50. It folds back to me, and I'm really thinking about folding, because anytime I see a limp and then 3-bet from under the gun, I sense strength. But I decide to make the call because I have position, and I just start saying, please God, let's hit an ace. Flop comes Queen 7-9 with 2 spades. Mr. Chip Leader now c-bets for $75, and I try to figure out what to do here. Is he bluffing? What is he repping here? I have the ace of spades in my hand. Should I raise a bluff and then continue on some turned spades? I even ask myself, why am I in this pot again? This guy can stack me, but I go ahead and make the call. Pretty sure this is not the best call, but my logic is there are a lot of backdoors that could come on the turn. Now, when the turn comes the deuce of diamonds, I say, crap, we really don't have much or beat much. And now Mr. Chip Leader fires for $225. I tank and I start contemplating life, asking myself, why did I burn $150 like that? We fold. FML. It's about mid-session now. We've been picking up a few spots here and there, and I haven't really found any significant spots. We were up a bit, but now we're only up $100 on the session. Hopefully we can end the night on a win. Let's find out. About 30 minutes later, we find a spot in middle position with pocket threes. We have a new player to my right who just sat down, and in his first hand he limps in. Interesting. This, from experience, seems like weakness. So we raise it up to $20. And then cutoff and big blind both cold call my raise. Wow, I did not expect that. Player who limped in now just folds. I knew it was weak, so we get a flop of queen 10-5 with 2 hearts. We have nothing, and when big blind checks, you know what I like to do with nothing, I fire. I make it $30 and cutoff calls. Big blind folds. The turn is now a 3, the gin card. Let's go. We feel like we have the nuts, so now how do I make money here? We bet, and we make it $75. And the cutoff makes the snap fold. Well, crap, what the heck were you calling the flop with that makes you fold the turn? Oh well. Next hand. We're in the big blind with pocket 8s now. Undergun player opens up the action to $25 and it folds to us. Heads up, we go ahead and make the call. He's got about $600 behind and the flop comes 7, queen 5, rainbow. I check and undergun now c-bets for 50. Make the call. I believe he should have top pair here, but he could also not have top pair here. He could also have air with ace highs, and I just want to see a turn. So when we make the call and the turn comes the queen of hearts, we're feeling pretty good about our 8s. Just having 2 queens out there makes me feel like he's less likely to have one of them. So we check, and when he bets out 50 once again, I go ahead and just make the call, and I want to see a river. Hopefully this river goes check, check. So let's see the river, and when the river is the 8 of clubs, we are like, bink, let's go. We have a boat. Now I really want him to have a queen. Ace queen? Could he have ace queen? And now I'm trying to figure out, how do I make money out of this? So instead of checking on this river, I actually lead out $250. And I think leading is the best here because if he had pocket aces, pocket kings, or even ace queen, I honestly think he'll find a lot of checks on these rivers. So when I lead out for $250, I hear him say, I have to call you. And it's like music to my ears. I'm ecstatic. He puts in the chips and I quickly show the goods and he shows me pocket aces. Ouch. That must hurt. Oh well, I'm just glad we could scoop that pot. A little later after that pocket 8s hand, we have $600 up on the session and we pick up ace king off from under the gun. We are loving it and are ready for the poker gods to keep blessing us with some more money. We open it up to $20 and we get 3 callers. The hijack, button, and big blind all call. We get a flop of queen 7-10 with 2 spades. Big blind checks and we opt to check here. 4 ways with just a gut shot and 2 overs. I'm in a check calling mode and cutoff then rips $70 that he has behind. And it folds back to me and I say, screw it, let's gamble. I can hit it, right? We have 2 overs and a gut shot. We can hit something. We make the call and probably assume that he just has a queen here, but let's run it. The turn comes as 6 of hearts and nothing changes. And when the river comes, the 9 of spades, I think I'm never good. And I'm exactly right when he shows me ace 2 of spades for the nut flush. Wow. So I called with a hand that was ahead. He was just drawing to spades or a deuce. That's unlucky. After some more folding, we are now in the small blind with queen 10 off. We get limps from under the gun, middle position, and button. We just go ahead and complete, not feeling like raising here, even though sometimes I do raise here, and big blind just checks. The flop comes 10-7-3 rainbow. It checks around, and the turn is an offsuit 3. We throw $10 into the pot, and big blind makes the call. Under the gun also makes the call, and the rest of everyone fold. The big blind player we just met, he's from Shanghai, China, super cool dude, and we want to be nice. So when the river comes at 2, I'm like, okay, Let's make it cheap. I bet out $10 again, and he instantly calls, and undergun instantly calls as well. I'm like, I got it, man. I show my queen 10 off, and he immediately shows me 10-7 for top 2. Wait, what? You just called me with that? Huh? Wait, I thought I was being nice. Holy crap, he's nicer. I think I lost the minimum here. Shout out to my man from Shanghai, China. Coming close to the end of our session, we have a spot with ace-4 of hearts for middle position. We're up about $400 to $500, and we're just still trying to look for some more money here before we end our session. We get an under the gun limp, and I pop it to 20. It folds to the small blind, and he makes the cold call. Under the gun also makes the call. The flop comes 8-10-3 with 2 clubs. Small blind checks, under the gun checks, and I c-bet for $30. Small blind flat calls it, and under the gun folds. The turn is now the ace of spades. Okay, we got top pair. I like that. Small blind checks again, and I'm loving our hand, so we bet out $50, thinking that he just has a 10 here. Small blind snap calls, and I generally start to think maybe he's on a flush draw now. And when the river is the 8 of hearts, I can't see what value I can get from this run out. So when the small blind checks again, I check back my top pair. I just say, I have an ace, and he quickly shows me ace queen for top pair as well, but with the queen kicker. F me. Oh well, just slowly losing money. In hindsight though, I probably should just be folding ace-4 suited versus under the gun limp pre-flop. But as you can see, I'm a bit loosey-goosey. Probably a good time to call it quits. But we don't, and the last hand that I play before I definitely call it quits is a double board bomb pot. This is where everyone puts $10 to see 2 flops. First act in the small blind of this bomb pot, and I have queen 8 off. The first board comes queen 8-10 with 2 clubs. We have 2 pair. Let's go. And the second board comes 5-4-6 rainbow. Okay, we smash the top board, and we have a gut shot on the bottom board. But I'll be honest, I didn't notice I had a gut shot on the bottom board. I only saw my top and bottom pair on the top board, so I was like, okay, at best I'm going to be chopping this money. So actions first on us, we check, and everyone checks until the last person to act bets out $25. We're definitely not going anywhere, but instead of calling, I decide to raise it to $75. Let's see if he has something. It folds back to him, and he makes the call. The top turn comes the 10 of diamonds, and the bottom board hits the 7 of spades. My 2 pairs now are counterfeited, and I say to myself, I have it. But my idiot ass didn't even realize that the 10 of diamonds was a 10 of diamonds. I actually thought it was the 9 of diamonds. So with me thinking I had it and not even noticing I had anything on the bottom, I fire for $500 now. Oh my God, Kenny, what are you doing? Not much before that, a random newcomer came by me and started telling me that his day has just gotten worse because he has to sit with a vlogger. LOL. Okay, here we go. This is how the day is going to be. I'm also pretty tired, and I think this is going to be my last hand. And this player then announces, okay, I'm all in. And I snap call, and I tell him I'm only playing the top board. What a donkey I am. The river is now the ace of spades on the top board and the 9 of hearts on the bottom. He shows me 10-4 offsuit, and let me just let the video explain the rest for me.
I'm a noob. Yeah. I didn't even see the 10. I honestly thought that was a 9 there. Holy shit. I got lucky.
You guys are chopping it.
We're chopping.
Wow.
Thought I was playing the top, but apparently I can't see.
Lucky.
I agree.
So yeah, we chopped that one up. LOL. I think we knew it was our time, so we just go ahead and start packing it up and cash out after that big blunder. It's time to go back to our Airbnb. GG's.